Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is James Swiderski, world's leading solar consultant, founder at Solarpreneur, and today I want to welcome you to this video where we're going to talk about how to eliminate 90% of all solar objections before you even have your presentation. If that sounds crazy, and the 90% close ratio that I talk about all the time, what I'm about to share with you is going to blow your mind. It's going to change the way that you sell forever, because when I learned it just a handful of years ago, it changed the game. It took me from closing maybe 3-4 deals a month, right, upwards to that 10, 12, 15 plus a month just by this one simple change, okay? But before we get into that, I want to talk about objections as a whole, right? Objections mean one thing, okay? They mean people are interested, but there's something off, right? And what you got to understand, that one thing that's off, 9 times out of 10, doesn't actually have to do with the objection they're throwing at you. I'm sure you've heard of smoke screens, right? Smoke screens, objections, whatever you want to call it, all it means is the prospect doesn't trust you. They don't trust you, they don't trust your company, and they don't trust that solar is going to work, okay? And if you can unlock this buying code, that's what's going to allow you to close more deals, right? Most reps think that if I just handle the objection, oh, we think it's too expensive. Well, actually, you're going to pay more long-term with solar. So really, it's not too expensive, Mr. Prospect. All right, why don't we move forward with this, right? And that's how the average solar rep would handle this, okay? But what they're really saying is, I don't trust that solar is going to actually solve my needs. I don't trust that solar is going to be worth the pain, the hassle it is to have somebody come out, go through the permitting, and all the process you just explained, James. I don't trust that's going to even be worth it for me, right? And quite frankly, James, I don't even trust you. You look like you're 12 years old. What do you know about solar, right? They're going to give you these objections in their mind, right? And they're going to come out through tonalities, uncertainty, body language, right? Jordan Belfort's a great guy to study when it comes to, like, he calls them the 3 10s of the certainty of those things I just talked about. Great guy to study from. But the moral of the story is people just don't trust you specifically. These objections are most of the time not in the way. So why do I tell you this? We need to know how to handle with grace, right? Swiftly, with finesse, how to handle those objections, the real ones, right? The trust ones, without turning your prospect off, without offending them and coming off as salesy, okay? So the first thing I want to do is, before I ever go on an appointment, whether a company would provide it back when I was working with a company, right? If they provide a lead to me, or I generate my own leads like I do now with myself at Lumen, right? I want to make sure that I am speaking to them and having a qualification phone call with them, right? And this isn't your typical appointment setting script where we're just checking for credit and we're checking their roof and all this and just setting the appointment. We are asking consultative-like questions, consulting questions. Why are you interested in checking out solar now? How long have you guys known about solar? How long has it been on the radar? It's been on the radar 6 months. Why did you wait 6 months to have this phone call with me today, right? What is the intention here? What do you guys want to get out of this appointment? What are you looking for? If there was something that were going to come up, some sort of objection that was going to come up, something that concerned you about solar, what would that be? Let's talk about these. These are the conversations you need to have. Very different conversation than just get off the phone and set the appointment. I want to pre-close them in this phone call, okay? I'm going to actually handle objections, right? I'm going to figure out what those objections are. I'm not going to handle them directly so they have too much information to get the quote. I'm just going to do it enough so that I am armed as a closer. I have enough in my arsenal to make sure that they're not going to come up later, okay? So have a pre-appointment phone call with every appointment you go on. Don't make the mistake that tons of solar reps, okay? I have no idea how many, but I know so many get caught in this trap where the company sends them leads, the company doesn't let them contact them, right? And they end up driving out there an hour, wasting their time, and the lead was unqualified and had no business, right? You are going to win out on so many more deals by refusing to go on crappy appointments than the few that you may have gotten showing up and taking that small chance of being able to close them, okay? I've done this with thousands of solar reps, guys. This works. Sacrifice the crappy leads today for the better ones tomorrow. Number 2, Commit. Get the prospect on the pre-appointment phone call, okay? Or you could do this one in person, right? You don't need to do it on both, but get them to commit to not give you objections. I know this sounds crazy, right? Like, how do we get somebody to commit to not giving objections without sounding salesy or super hardcore, right? It's very simple. Hey, Mr. Prospect, homeowner, right? My job today is simple. I'm going to give you the information, the quote, all the stuff we talked about over the phone, all the details you need to know to make a decision on whether solar is going to make sense, all right? It doesn't make sense for everybody, and my job is really to help you figure this out the quickest way possible. If by the end of this appointment, right, I'm able to help you decide this, right, we could do a couple of things, right? You could say, yes, let's move forward with it. I'll walk you through the next steps to go forward with solar, right? We'll get the permitting done. We'll do all of this stuff. You could say, no, it doesn't make sense for us for whatever reason. And quite frankly, I don't care what the reason is because my job is just to help you figure this out. You save a lot of time. I'll be on my way. We part as friends, okay? But the third thing, and I don't want you to say this, is we need to research, we need to sleep on it, James. We need to go get some other solar quotes, right? Because if you have to say those things, it means I didn't do my job right, okay? And I need to know about it. So, Mr. Homeowner, before we even start here, can we make a simple agreement, a simple arrangement that you are not going to give me that third reason, right? And that's it. And you just wait and just go dead silent. What they're going to do here, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to say, yes, James, we can agree to do that. Boom. They just made a commitment to you and themselves, and most people are not going to break that, okay? And if they do come back to it, once they give you that objection later on at the end of the appointment, you just say, hey, do you remember what you said remember what we talked about at the beginning of the appointment? What's going on here? What is this? And they're going to realize, and then they're going to tell you what the real problem is, okay? Every single time. But what's going to happen 9 times out of 10 is they're just going to agree, okay? They're just going to agree, yes, we won't give you an excuse, and they will give you a yes or a no at the end of the appointment. Super easy. Now, when they give you some hesitation, I don't know if we're that serious about this. I don't know if we really want to look at solar that bad. It sounds like you're a pretty serious guy with this, James. I think maybe we misunderstood each other. You say, hey, look, let's just pretend this. Before I take off here, let's pretend that I've been your neighbor or your friend or a family member for a while. We were sitting down together today, all right? And I was saying, hey, you should check out solar with Lumen Solar or XY Solar Company or whoever, right? What would you be saying to them, right? What would you be telling them right now? Would you be saying solar's too expensive, or what things would come up, okay? And then just listen. Now, what you're doing here is you're getting the trust factor out of the way, because by saying that you are a family member or a friend or somebody that they trust, okay, this is the picture you're painting. Let's say I was your best friend and I said, hey, check out Lumen Solar. What other reasons could you think of on why solar wouldn't make sense to move forward, right? Now, guess what happens? They're not going to give you a, I don't trust you, I don't trust your company. They're going to tell you what the real objections are at this point. Now, let me ask you this question, right? You as the solar rep, would you rather handle the objections at the end, wondering what the hell they are? Or would you rather know what they are right now from the beginning so you could tailor your presentation to handle those over and over and over again and address those so they're completely gone, right? I'm going to take the latter, because the more time I have to work on an objection, to tell stories, to get emotion, to get a logic, to address these objections, the better, right? And people will tell you their initial objections. So milk the prospects of all of their objections in the beginning, eliminate trust out of the variable, right? So you can get to the core objections, build up trust, build up certainty, and you're on your way to more deals before you even have to present. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, you like this type of content, this training that we're putting out, you know the drill. Thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.